So yeah, so I've been to these spiritual meetings. That was because my spiritual teacher, Dr David R Hawkins, said that, well, what he said was that alcoholics that don't go to AA meetings regularly relapse on the alcohol. And I just took that, well, obviously then it's best to have a regular. Why is it good? It's not necessary at the highest levels. Obviously, once you're in non-duality, you don't need to go to meetings. But when you're at a low level, very identified with the ego, just being in a spiritual energy which is higher than your own is beneficial, because it deflates the ego, and you get in connection with a higher spiritual energy, which the higher the spiritual energy you're in connection with on a regular basis, it means that you could say that one is in a field of energy which is taking care of you. So when you get to if you can maintain a very high spiritual connection every day, then you get into connection with what I call the continuous miraculous, where miracles tend to happen regularly. And I think everyone's experienced this when they've had a good spiritual day. Anyone who's done spiritual work is like every bus arrives on time, every tube arrives on time, everything goes right. And then when you're spiritually disconnected on those days, it's like you miss every single bus by about 30 seconds, everything goes wrong. So the meetings help to push your personal vibration up so that you can tune into that resonance, which means that you're being taken care of. So that's why, things like depression, for me they're all related. It doesn't matter. For me, an addict, I'm a food addict, is just someone who's depressed, but usually they have an addiction which they can use on to get temporary relief. So alcoholics are, you could say, are depressed, but they just use alcohol to get temporary relief from their negativity. If they didn't take the alcohol or any using behavior, they'd be depressed as well. As a compulsive overeater, if I stopped eating all my donuts, I'd be depressed if it was refrained from me. So depression for me is just very strong disconnection from God, from the spiritual. And and like I've shared many times here, through doing the spiritual work, I feel quite peaceful most of the time, and that horrific feeling of negativity and wanting to use I haven't had for years, and also my health problems have recovered. And for me as well, it's once you're disconnected from the spiritual energy, then all the negative stuff starts to manifest, like depression, lack of serotonin levels in the brain, all kinds of physical illnesses manifest. Also emotional illnesses manifest when there's great disconnection, emotional and physical. And like I've shared before, that's due to all that negativity, all the guilt, the shame, the resentment, the fear, is like a negative energy field that latches onto any appropriate thought, which mirrors it. So really negativity, like guilt, means I need self-punishment. So that's what guilt represents. So it just latches onto a belief system or an illness or something, which will just manifest and represent that. So that's all gone through using that mechanism. And there was something else I was going to say, but today I'm in a forgetful mood, so I'm going to forget that.
Do you think that depression and alcoholism is linked?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure my brother died, and I'm sure he was depressed. He was a chronic alcoholic. Yeah, because I noticed myself when I had stomach problems,
yes.
If I had a glass of whiskey, it pretty much went away.
Yeah.
So if you're depressed, it must be very tempting not to self-medicate.
Absolutely.
I would think.
It's correct. Yeah. I mean all the.
So So with your depression, you're being very strong not to do that.
Probably that's why I'm feeling the depression.
I think it's better to feel it than going the other way.
There's no shortcut.
You end up like that for a brother.
Quite right. Yeah. there's great. If you're depressed, anything that can give you relief, it's quite easy to get addicted to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And feeling awful and suicidal, and then you suddenly have a glass of whiskey. Oh, I'm quite happy.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, it works. It's funny, it works for the stomach, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, yeah.
Feed, I'm feeling, you know.
Yeah, a little is okay. Yeah. Yeah.
A little is okay, yeah.
Yeah.
In addiction, it's like the field of, it only gives you temporary relief, and then you want more. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah, this is the
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
And then the thing stops working eventually, and then it's like unending.